together that 4th of July day. That's when the land you're standing on became the USA. United we will stand, but divided we fall. One nation under God says it all. Men are created equal, words written in by hand. They all stand to fight when a cry for freedom rings. Freedom isn't free, it comes with a cost. One nation under God says it all. One nation under God says it all. This old world's changing, it's changing every day. For the land of the free and the home of the brave. Stand up everybody, stand proud and tall. One nation under God says it all. One nation under
Good evening and welcome to IITW Radio. It is 7:51. We got a little bit of late start with the storms coming in. It is the 2nd of August already. Holy crap, the year's going by too quick. As always, well, usually on Tuesday night, we have Greg Williams, but I had to have some surgery done Tuesday night, so I'm back here on Friday night. Mr. Greg Williams, a co-host for Problems in American Democracy. And boy, is there a lot of problems in American democracy. So did you get a chance to, how you been this week?
Pretty good.
Okay, you got to give me some of those things to put behind me there. I like that Barney Fife and the Clint Eastwood and Guard Bloodhound on duty.
Yeah, well, that is what it is.
So did you get a chance to catch the debates?
Which debate?
The Democrat debates.
You call that a debate? I thought that was a doggone, I don't know what to call it. It was some liberal love fest, if you ask me.
It was an Obama bashing ceremony is what it was. I can't believe they turned on Obama.
They moved very far left.
Doesn't that make all of them racist now? Not they went against the black guy?
Things are bad for the Democrats when all they can do is accuse everybody that doesn't the group think that they have is a racist. The idea that you can't criticize a person of color for their views or their ideas. And even if you want to provoke them a little bit, the liberals are supposed to be big on free speech. And my God, all they want to do is shut speech down. If you can't agree with them, they want to shout you down, call you a racist, call you a homophobe, call you this, that, or the other. They just want it. They go at home when you right off the bat. And you know what? All I can tell you is the corruption of the mainstream media and the Democratic Party is unbelievable. And of course, they're one now. They're one. The mainstream media is the Democratic Party. I don't know, and I don't know why the mainstream media wants to move so far left. You'd think they want us to be some, Venezuela. What do they want us to? What do they want? If the New York Times had its way, I guess we'd have open borders. I guess we'd have political correctness run amok, where we'd all have to basically line up and say the same things and speak the same way. And, the chilling effect of political correctness is a horrible thing. It just chills on free speech. The Democrats have lost the battle of ideas, and now all they can do is make ridiculous accusations of racism because they can't take a joke. They don't know what figurative speaking is. They don't know what the language is a wonderful thing, and you can do a lot with it. And for some reason, they want to take everything this president says as literal, when he may be trying to make a bigger point and using different language techniques. So it is what it is. The Democrats are dumb. I say it frequently, but they're dumb.
Well, CNN and NBC and CBS, MSNBC, all of them put the brakes on. I don't know if you got a chance to check out any of their shows this last night and tonight, or this afternoon. they were slamming the brakes on. I mean, they were trashing the Democrats for getting on Obama. And I loved what Biden said.
So what? So what? It's all a big smoke screen. They realize they're in trouble. Let me tell you something. CNN, they want nothing more than to take down this president, as does all the other mainstream media. The fact that they're trying to coach up their failing, flailing, increasingly less popular, Muslim Brotherhood loving, ridiculous Democratic Party. That's all they're trying to do. They're trying to save the party from itself. But the problem with the party is, I don't know who's more to the left, the mainstream media or, Nancy Pelosi or the other crazy people that are running the party. The four horsemen of liberal manure.
You lost. Yep, you there still?
Yeah, what happened?
Okay, I lost you for a second. It must be the storms and stuff we're having.
Oh, I don't know. Well, in any event, got a lot of liberalism going on that's bad for the country. But go ahead, what you got?
Oh my God, I loved what Biden said.
Biden was so bad at the end of the debate. I mean, that guy obviously slept well past his nap time. Sleepy Joe, man, you can only parade him out in public for about an hour a day. The guy looks like his best years are behind him. He's out of touch. He's completely lost it. He's not there. He ain't playing with the full deck, in other words.
Well, I love what Biden said. If you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Oh yeah.
Of all the things you could say,
we're supposed to be so stupid. We'll fall for that again.
Of all the things you could say, why in the hell would you say that?
Because you are dumber than a box of rocks. Joe Biden is like almost infantile at this point. When you get real old and you start losing it, you start looking more childlike. He obviously he struggled at the end of the debate. It was like, wow, poor guy. He's not going to be the one, I can tell you right now. It doesn't matter who they nominate at this point. I don't see anybody worth a damn. My favorite Democrat is Gabbard. She may have a problem with the truth. I don't know. I don't know where she's at on this, Al Qaeda thing. We just took out, apparently the government just took out bin Laden's son. Trump is doing everything he needed to do to take care of the business over there in the Middle East. And I'll tell you right now, if Iran doesn't get it together, there will be a regime change. Right there. If Korea doesn't get it together, there will be a regime change. They don't understand in Korea that this is his last ticket.
Hey, I got something we're gonna bring up and play here. Now, I have some people that I know that are Muslims, and I don't have anything.
There are a lot of nice Muslim people. I mean, but these radicals are unbelievable. Go ahead.
I got something we're gonna play here, and I want to get your thoughts on this. Now, this is Representative. Crap, what's her name? You'll recognize her.
Elob, the maniac, or is it Omar?
No, it's not Omar.
Education is one of the most important areas that Muslims
Wait, we're going to put it up here. Okay, start it back from the beginning. Chris. It's only like.
Okay, that's probably some Muslim Brotherhood member that's trying to destroy the country.
Yeah, here it is. We're going to start it over. This is on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
don't
we're ready.
conflict Muslims.
Wait, hang on, Greg.
With Islamists. They're a little bit different.
Wait, we're going to start it one more time. Hang on. I want everybody to hear this. Chris is going to get aggravated with us here in a second. Okay, here we go.
Start?
Yeah, started.
Education is one of the most important areas that Muslims have to address. And while our final objective, is not just to become part of the system that we experience now and that we see, our final objective is to create our own Islamic systems, and not only create Islamic systems for Muslims, but to look at all the other people who are sharing this country with us as potential Muslims. And if we look at them as potential Muslims and feel that we have the obligation, which Allah has told us, to try to bring them into the same style of thinking, into the same way of behaving and to the same objectives that we have, then we have to have some way that we can communicate with them and some way we can work with them. And in that long-range process of making America Muslim, all of America Muslim, then we have to have some actual short-range goals. We have to have some way of dealing with them and know how we're going to deal with them and in which ways, and be very calculated about it, or else we will not accomplish our goals.
All of America Muslim?
Let me tell you.
Let me tell her something.
I'm glad you showed that, because really, that's the Democratic Party. They want all of America to be Muslim. They're so stupid, they'd sell us out to the Muslims. The Muslims are trying to use education. But you know what? Here's the problem with the Muslim religion in general. They want to use the sword to convert, okay? They don't respect anybody that's not a Muslim. She just came out and said, look, they want to make America an Islamist nation. Well, I will tell you this, the country that Thomas Jefferson was the founding father will never be a Muslim country. And the Muslim Brotherhood can kiss my ass. They're a bunch of idiots. Muslim Brotherhood should be a terrorist organization. They should not be allowed to operate in America. And yet Obama gave them the keys to the White House, the keys to the State Department. They've infected the State Department, and they've infected the Democratic Party. And it's terrible. They've infected our government. And the Muslim Brotherhood's bad news. And it is what it is. This is what they want to do. It'll never happen in our country. Okay, just to let you know. And that's why, you know why? Because we weren't built on Islamic traditions or foundations. Thomas Jefferson has a Quran, and he wants all of America to read it so all of America could see the barbaric nature of those people. That's why he had to send our military over there, because these people were beheading people 300 years ago. If you don't believe, they want to behead you. I don't have any tolerance for, for the Muslim Brotherhood. Islamic countries don't let us come over there and build Christian churches. Very often. I mean, you don't see very much of it. Israel, the lone exception. You have a Bible in Saudi Arabia or Iran. They'll mess with you. They're bad news. But the difference between Christianity, which is built on love and grace, Islam is built on the sword. You either agree with their groupthink, which is nonsense. It's a lot like the liberal policies that we all reject, that the Democrats continue to want to shove down our throats. Or you get beheaded. With the Democrats, it's like you either agree with us or we're going to call you a racist. Well, you know what? The real racists are the Islamists. If you're gay in an Islamic country, they'll throw you off a building. I mean, for the Democratic Party to be so stupid to invite radical Islam, because that's all they are. They're just potential voters. The Democrats have lost middle America. They've lost the battle of ideas. So I don't know what to tell you other than don't vote for a Democrat. That's about all we can do. The only way we can send a message to CNN and to MSNBC and CBS and NBC and ABC is to vote for Trump.
Well,
vote for the Republican candidate, but vote for Trump for sure.
I do a lot of, research. I mean, a ton of research. And I always, I go into scientific stuff and I listen to all the news stations and I formulate my own thing. Science has just found a dog with two assholes. Have you ever seen this?
No.
Have you ever heard about it? I'm going to put it up on the screen right now.
No. Oh, let's see it.
Science discovered a dog with two assholes.
Oh, that's pretty funny. You got a picture of Bill and Hillary. Yeah, I like that. I wonder who's the most corrupt.
One of my readers, Doug, sent that in. I cracked up. I told him I'd put it up.
That's pretty good. I like that. I wish you could send that to my phone. I got to share that a little bit. No, it is what it is.
Hello, Jolie and Janet. You got to get
that debate is what it is. I mean, Biden looks terrible, and he's supposedly the voice of reason. Buttigieg is a non-factor. He's gone. I like the Hawaiian. I don't think she can win. I don't think any of them can win. But I like the Hawaiian, and then I like Delaney. And and nobody likes Delaney. But I thought the Hawaiian did a pretty good job of slicing open Kamala Harris
Who
and
was the one?
exposing her for the hypocrite that she is.
Who was I can't think of his name right now. There's a Democrat out of Montana.
Bullock.
Is it Bullock?
Bullock.
That guy I like. Now I
He
listen.
might have an idea or two, but he's still the only problem with him is he's a Democrat. You know, you can't trust Biden. Here's the deal with Biden. Okay, Biden runs as far left as he is. By the time they get to the general, they all try to calm the American public and say, "Oh, I'm a centrist like Obama." As soon as he got in, hard left. As soon as he got in. Same thing with Clinton. As soon as he got in, you know, he moved to the left. Couldn't wait to put gays in the subs. I don't know why. But, you know, I don't think it's a good idea to have women in subs. I don't think it's a good idea to have, you know, I think you have to have a special person to be in a submarine in those close quarters. You know, you wonder why the Navy's complaining, oh, man, all these women are getting pregnant. Well, you know, you send out 500 women and 5,000 men on an aircraft carrier, and they're all between 18 and 24, 25. There's going to be a chemical reaction. I mean, love is a strange thing, you know, it can pop up in all kinds of places.
Yeah, I've met a couple of women that are in the Marines. They are badasses.
Sure.
But still, they could get pregnant.
You know, I'm happy that they, you know, as long as they don't lower the standards for them, I'm all about it. You want to be a special forces, you want to be a Navy SEAL, then you do what the men Navy SEALs have to do. I don't think we should be making exceptions, you know, like the fire department did a long time ago. I think the firemen had to carry 120 pounds, and the firewomen maybe only had to carry 20 pounds. I don't know. But it should be the same. You know, I'm all about equal opportunity. You can do it. Some work is more physical than others.
Now, the one thing that on the Democratic debate the other night, last night when I was watching it, not one of those people thought that Obamacare was a good idea. Every one of them was talking about how they can improve it. You know, pretty much they're going to shut it down. So, I mean, that's just nuts. And where in the hell is Obama at?
Well, the biggest problem, Obama doesn't want to get indicted. He's smart. He's not like Comey running his mouth. Comey's not out of the woods yet. You know, people were disappointed Comey's not going to get charged by Barr on this one little thing that he did wrong of many things he did wrong. Comey's not out of the woods yet.
That's not really a little thing, though. I mean, he released
Obama. Well, I agree.
He released classified documents.
Up on that. They got bigger things they can burn Comey on.
But he still released classified documents to a professor.
It shows I agree. It shows the hypocrisy of it all. But I don't think the judge and the jury have yet to rule on Comey. And there's more to come on all of that, from what I'm hearing.
Well, did you hear what Nadler said the other day about?
Nadler's irrelevant. He's an idiot. What did he say? I don't spend my time listening.
When he was talking about the impeachment process and indicting Trump and stuff, he says, well, so far we haven't developed enough evidence to impeach Trump. We haven't developed enough. Developed is when you're making something up.
They're unbelievably stupid. It doesn't matter what they do. I say bring it. I say go ahead and impeach him. Make my day. Impeach the president. It won't matter. He's going to come back bigger, better, and badder.
Well, what's going to happen
if I was China, I'd be coming to the table now. Okay. I don't know. These guys have no clue. There's a reason the American people sent Trump to Washington, and that was to do exactly what he's doing right now.
Well, he's kept every promise that he's made, and then some. But, you know, they're all sitting up there talking about this Green New Deal. Now, the Green New Deal is going to cost every homeowner in the United States the very first year $70,000. 70 grand. Most of the houses in Putnam County don't even run 70 grand. And then $250,000 over the next 10 years out of each household. So I'm listening to old Bernie up there, and Bernie's saying before where he said he wasn't going to raise taxes. Now he's saying, well, yeah, we're going to have to hike the taxes on the middle class. And then it trickles down to the poor. But you know,
Oh well, but hey, it doesn't matter. You got Warren there. She can't wait to raise the taxes. The first thing they want to do when they get in is reverse the Trump tax cuts. Well, that'd be stupid, but that's what they want to do because the Democrats essentially are economic illiterates. These guys were so Keynesian for so long, they got stuck on some bad economic policy. Fortunately, I think we've kind of broke them of that. Um, it's no secret to the Trump recipe. You reduce regulations, reduce the tax burden, and you make a more business-friendly environment. You'd be surprised what America can do. It's the government that's been holding us down. It's the Federal Reserve that holds us down. Yeah, but primarily our own government policies. I'm so glad that individual mandate's gone. That was a stupid thing. If the program was going to be so good, everybody would want to join. But here's the thing. If Congress and Pelosi and that idiot Paul Ryan, if you keep passing bills that you're excluded from, then you're just a bunch of hypocrites and we don't need you. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why isn't Congress subject to the same baloney they force on us? You want us to be in Obamacare? You should be in Obamacare. They lied about all of that. The biggest bait and switch we ever had. And that's what Obama was about. He was a great deceiver.
we have to read it to see what's in it. It's Pelosi's exact words.
It was
Now,
a terrible, terrible bill. It affected lots of things, and it did not address cost. At least Trump is now saying, and I would do this, make it available for people to get get drugs at Canadian prices. Hell, I mean, why? I mean, really? Canada, you can get the same drug we get here. Canada pays about 75% less for it. Ballpark, maybe more. Well, I think we should be able to get the same kind of deal that they get in Canada.
well, in the 60s, insulin was going for $10 a thing. Now it's at over $300. I've talked to some people that have gone to Canada.
It's terrible how much they charge for insulin nowadays.
Canada.
And they have a newer shot thing, a pen type deal, whatever. And my now deceased grandmother, or my wife's side, or my mother-in-law, she required it, and it was like 400 and change.
Now
and no break on the insurance, and that was with insurance. It was ridiculous.
Now, I talked to a guy who's got insurance, and he's driving to Canada once a month, and he gets his prescriptions from Canada now, because in Canada, the same prescription rates that he pays $300 a vial for here, he's only paying $25 up there.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? And it shouldn't be that way. But, I'm not knocking Canada. Their country did a better job negotiating drug prices. I'm knocking us. I mean, just like what Trump says. So, if the Democrats would quit fighting him, we could probably achieve a lot. But they're so into their own party and into control because they want to control everything we do from cradle to grave. They want to be our God. They want to be our daddy. They want to be our mama. It's ridiculous. I'm saying, look, I don't want any Democratic stuff going on in my life. Okay? I mean, when you say Democratic, I mean, I don't need your brand of health insurance. I don't want it. I want to be able to use the marketplace. The government has a responsibility for older people, for Social Security, for the disabled, for national defense, for our vets, and for national parks and stuff. But they don't have to be in every area of our life. I mean, it's ridiculous. We got a state government that can do a lot of that stuff. I don't think the feds should be involved in education as much as they are. So it is what it is.
Well,
I hope that education gets better because I'll tell you right now, the Muslim Brotherhood is trying to take it over. The liberal Democrats are trying to take it over. They've, as the Podesta memo said, they own the media, they own education. They just don't own middle America. They lost that fight a long time ago.
Todd wrote in and said, yeah, Biden wants to be everyone's daddy. He ain't wrong about Uncle Joe. But
hey, keep your hands off my daughter, Uncle Joe.
Do I?
Especially, that sounds gross, especially when you think of the second context for dad.
Yeah, that sounds pretty gross, especially when you think of that hair sniffing Biden. Creepy Joe. I wouldn't want him to be my daddy. I don't want him around my daughters.
Sniff that hair.
Yeah, but
He's a hair sniffer from way back.
during the debates, Democratic debates here, as I'm watching
Yeah.
them, with everyone that was on the stage. Now, I'm not talking about the new ones that are just added to the list, because some of the old school Democrats I have no problem with. But what if Trump
There's
is?
not that many old school Democrats left.
Well, I took down some notes. What if Trump doesn't get reelected and we just go with the people that's on the stage? Let's just take
We
for
would be screwed. Our country would be screwed.
let's throw away the higher taxes for a second. But what
Nah,
about
I
the
mean, we'd be
open?
screwed
Every one of
all the
them.
way around.
Every one of them's talking about open borders. Now you got open borders. It's not just letting people come in. You got ISIS that's going to come through. You've got the Taliban. You've got human trafficking. You've got drug
Well,
trafficking.
I mean, another thing
It'll
you're
be
missing
flooding into
is
the United States.
you're missing something really important that we're going to have to turn on the rest of the country to. The Democratic Party, by and large, is anti-Christian. They don't want Liberty University to influence this country. They don't want Judeo-Christian values to be the mainstream values of this country. And that's what it was built on, and we can't get too far away from that. There's a reason America's been blessed over the years.
I don't see.
And
I don't see
it is
one of
what
them
it
up
is.
on stage that would go against Kim Jong Un. If Trump hadn't have gotten into office and started negotiating with him, right now we would be at war because he was already firing missiles over. I mean, he was this close to having nuclear warheads coming over. Going over North Korea or South Korea. The guy's just off the chain. Also, did you see where Trump took Russia? He backed right out of the arms deal today, and he also
Yeah, he needed to. He needed to. And you know what? These bleeding heart libs, they don't care. If we listen to the Hubert Humphreys of the world and the Ed Kennedys of the world, we'd probably all be speaking Russian. Who knows?
Well, I mean, who's going to negotiate with Putin? With any of them, Kim Jong Un. I like what Trump said when he said he would bring down the wrath of hell on North Korea if Little Rocket Man decided to shoot anymore.
I know, and that's what they need to understand that. And if you're in North Korea, you need to understand you need to get on the Trump train or you're going to get left behind. We have no problems with most of the North Korean people. There's a handful of them that want to blow up the world. It's almost like an Austin Powers movie, Dr. Evil. This Kim Jong-un, he's practically Dr. Evil. And then that idiot in Iran, he's like gold member. It's almost like an Austin Powers movie. These people are that twisted and that demented. It's amazing.
Bernie Sanders. We got a picture to put up of him here. This guy was off the chart the other night. I mean, he's screaming at everybody. He is one pissed off pirate.
I like him. I like that guy.
I like Bernie too.
Bernie, baby, Bernie.
He was ranting and raving about everything.
Yeah, I don't like his politics per se, but I like him. Go eat some of that Grateful Dead ice cream. What's it called? Jerry Garcia, Ben and Jerry's, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Eat some more Grateful Dead ice cream, Bernie.
Yeah, right.
Bernie's a gun-toting liberal, though. He's a gun-toting liberal. Because Vermont's got a lot of hunters. He can't be so anti-gun in Vermont.
Here you go. We're gonna put one. We're gonna put one up here. What do you think about this? The entire Democratic Party is pitting against itself by the media, but you stay true to your values.
They're beautiful. And what a great team that would be. I think Sanders and Warren would be a formidable foe for our president.
Yeah. I think our tax bracket couldn't handle it.
Sanders and Warren. Hey, they got a real good chance. Let me tell you. Warren is done. They're all done. Warren is so dumb. She's an economic illiterate herself. What do you want to do? Put all the insurance companies out of business? Insurance serves a purpose. There's, so it is what it is. That's why you got to have competition.
Yeah.
Some insurance companies are better than others.
Hey, tell me what you think about this. Can you see it?
Okay.
There's Sleepy Joe Biden on the ground. There's the Democratic Party. Tariff Man, Harris, Warren, and Bernie.
Interesting. Is that Antifa? Is that Antifa
Yeah.
coming after Joe Biden?
Yep. No, that's the Democratic Party. That's what they
Oh,
did to
wow.
him last night in the debate.
It looked like the Antifa. I mean, the Antifa, I believe, is a subset of the Democratic Party
Well, the problem.
because they go wherever the Democrats are in power is where the Antifa sleeps.
If Chris has got some stuff he's putting up over here. It's pretty funny.
My
I lost
favorite
my
liberal,
damn
Chris.
train
He's a
of thought.
pretty good guy. I used
Did
to
you
be
see?
liberal, more liberal than I am, but oh well,
Well, did you see where where Senator Graham introduced his asylum bill today? Applications filled outside. All applications will have to be filled outside of the United States. Families will be held together now instead of just 20 days. It'll be at least 100, at least 100 days. That way, it'll allow them some vetting and to be able to get the people that really want to get the asylum claims and get in
Yeah.
here. They're going to hire 500 new immigration judges, and accompanied minors will be returned back to their origin. Now, some people
The
don't
only
like
thing
that.
I don't like is hiring a bunch of new judges. I got so many judges anyway. I always spend time judging everything. I
Yeah,
don't know if we need another 500 judges,
Doug just
but
Doug just joined in. Hey, thanks, Doug. I put some of the stuff you sent to me up already. So thanks for sending that stuff in. But if they return the kids back, that's going to stop a lot of the human trafficking. And
I
and
just don't know if we need to build another 500
well,
judges. Who knows?
well,
The liberals always want to throw more money at it. Not that Graham's a liberal per se, but I'm not convinced that we need 500 judges down there. I mean, we already have a bunch of immigration judges as it is, and it is backed up. But once you start adding to the federal bureaucracy, it's hard to get rid of them.
with I don't understand why the Democrats are blocking this stuff because 30% of the women, now this is statistics coming in not only from ICE but from Mexico and Guatemala. 30% of the women who make the trip from Guatemala to the United States are sexually assaulted. That's a high number. And then you've got over 100 kids.
And the Democratic women don't give a damn because that's not what they care about.
He said, "Is that to pick a Comey on the wall?" That one's funny as hell, Chris. Put this one up.
Let me see that one. Oh, that's good. That's right out of Mini-Me, Dr. Full. Yeah.
Hillary and
yeah,
Kamala.
About that.
Chris is on a roll tonight.
Oh, that's good
But,
stuff.
if they really wanted to stop, there's hundreds of kids have died already making that long trip. You got 30% of the women that's making the trip getting sexually assaulted. You've got drugs coming across the border. You've got human trafficking. You've got terrorists, the Taliban, ISIS,
MS-13.
MS-13. I mean, why? Why would you want open borders? There has to be a filtration system there. I mean, there has to be. I'm all for asylum, and I'm all for people coming to this country, but there has to be a legal way to do it. Doug wrote in the Comey flight.
One thing I wanted to share with you, one thing that bothered me is West Germany announcing to Great Britain that they're not interested in doing anything in the Middle East in terms of the oil in the Strait of Iran. Because, frankly, the Muslim Brotherhood's got a haven in Germany. That's where they that's where they want to be. That's where they have the most influence. And then they try to bring it over here. And we don't need it. I mean, the leader of West Germany really kind of blew it, if you ask me. So she's worse than Obama.
Somebody wrote in about
Germany's Obama, if you ask me, but go ahead.
Yeah, somebody wrote in about the people Trump's deporting. Lady, you need to go and check. Obama has deported 10 times as many people as Trump has.
Obama deported a ton of people. He deported
over 500,000 in his second term.
What we're trying to do is not let so many of these illegals in. Hey, I don't mind if you're an immigrant, but learn our traditions, our customs, our values, our language. Learn what it is to be an American. And I can tell you this: to be an American is not to necessarily. I mean, you can do what you want. But I'm just saying, to be an American is not to be a Muslim Brotherhood member wanting to turn America into a Muslim country.
Yeah, I
'Cause
tell
it's not going
Joe
to happen.
we got to tell Jolie good night. She said the little ones are cutting up. She's got to skittle on out.
All
Thanks for
right.
listening tonight,
Well,
Jolie.
next week's another week. More
Jolie's
news.
one of our favorite listeners. All of you guys are our favorite listeners. But Jolie has been on here. She was the first one to click on the very first night and has been hanging with us ever since, except for when those
I didn't hear,
grandbabies start acting up.
I didn't hear anybody talk about the Trump rally. I guess people were a little bit better behaved. I don't know. I love Trump and I love the rallies. I love the chants, frankly. I don't have a problem with them. I don't think it's racist. I think it's just making a statement. But I didn't hear any of that because I didn't watch the whole thing. Did you hear anything about, was anybody saying send her home or not?
No, but they did tear a flag in half or a banner in half that said "Immigration for All." that some left wingers bought in.
Okay.
They tore it in half.
Well, we don't mind immigration. We just want it legal. I wonder what else they.
What about
Do
Omar?
they have any CNN? Did they say CNN sucks? Because that's always a high point of the Trump rallies for myself when I'm watching them.
I think
When the crowd breaks into chant going, CNN sucks. CNN sucks. It's like so true.
what
It's like you finally saw it. You finally caught it. You
Yeah,
know?
we got to
They
move
do
on
suck.
because
They're terrible.
there's a couple of things that I want to get to real quick. Omar,
Okay.
did you see Omar where she was on one of the shows saying, and I quote, "Be fearful of white people." I mean, come on, are you kidding me?
That's what they do. See, Omar wants to stoke. She wants to stoke racism. That's all they do. That's all they can do because they have no good ideas.
Did you
Okay,
get?
Omar, the fact that she's elected to Congress is a joke, and the people in her district have to be dumb as a box of rocks. They got problems in her district. They nominate someone like her to represent in the United States Senator, and then Pelosi puts her on some select committee. Pelosi's an idiot, too. She doesn't give a damn about national security.
They just
The
did
Democrats are terrible.
Judicial Watch, and then there's separate individuals that just did a 3-year investigation on Omar. And here's what they found. I showed you this the other day because I showed you the court documents on it when we were when you and I were having lunch a couple days ago. And Omar's, it's for the people listening. Omar allegedly married her brother to bring him into the United States. Okay, which is totally illegal. She was married to him, then she gets divorced, marries another guy, but files her taxes. Oh no, well, she was married to her brother. She filed taxes before she got married with her current husband.
Hey,
so that's tax.
Crooked. She's more crooked than not Al Franken, than that. What's that big race baiter out of New York? Al Sharpton.
Al Sharpton.
She's more crooked than Al Sharpton.
Oh God, Al Sharpton. you know Al Sharpton, and people might not know this. Al Sharpton
and a government informant. That's what you do. So you're so crooked, so over the top. Mueller puts you on the payroll. He was working for the feds. He never paid his taxes. He should be locked up for what he's done.
Al Sharpton wrote a book, and I don't know if you know this or not, but he wrote a book and then sold it to his organization that he started and runs for millions. So he had all these millions of copies of books that he sold to himself or to his company so that he could take the money out of his company and embezzle that illegally. I mean,
I'm not surprised.
Hey, if he can get and pull it off, God love him.
He's come a long way from selling crack back in the day.
Yeah, now in the with the cops throwing water on everybody, or the people throwing water up in the Bronx and and all over New York, now they're going to make it a law that it's going to be an assault charge. Because somebody had asked me about that.
Maybe it should. It's one thing to sprinkle them with the hose in 110-degree heat as they're by, like just letting them cool down, but it's not appropriate to take a bucket of water or whatever substance is in the bucket and throw it on top of a police officer. That's ridiculous.
Hey, I didn't have enough time to catch up on it to pull it up before I came on the air tonight. But did you find out? I know Jeffrey Epstein, Mr. Child Molester himself, he was found in his cell, damn near dead, and I never did find out if he was trying to commit suicide or if he got
they
crap
say he was
kicked.
beat down by another inmate.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, because he's a pedophile. Matter of fact, Jacksonville, Florida, 3 days ago had a pedophile beat to death in the jail. Now I'll say this, you know, it's terrible that there's a loss of life in the jail. In Duval County alone, there's been 22 people that have died in that jail in the last 10 years. And I got to believe that most, if not all of them, were preventable and should have been prevented. Too many times our government has a attitude of indifference, a culture of indifference. You find it at a lot of the bigger city jails. I've in my travels, it seems the smaller counties have the nicer, better run jails where people tend to actually pay attention and care more. But there's a culture of indifference that we need to be careful of, and it's in a lot of bureaucracies, and I don't like it. And I see it too much. And I think that the people that go into jail should leave the jail in at least the condition they went to jail in. Therefore, if someone dies while he's in jail, I think there's going to be some negligence involved, and I think that that's unhealthy. So even that pedophile probably didn't deserve to be beat to death inside a jail when he's in the state's custody. So there you have it. And I don't like pedophiles any more than anybody. I can't stand them. But the bottom line is he was a human being and he got beat to death while in the state's care, control, and custody.
I got to disagree with you.
For me.
I got to disagree with you on that. I don't think that pedophiles, people that molest little kids, I don't think they're human. I think that they should strap them up, hang them up in a courtyard, let them hang by their neck, but do it slow, pull their damn fingernails and toenails out, shove bamboo spikes under and light them on fire, and then water torture them right before they snap their damn neck.
Yeah, I get you. I get you on all of that, and that's why that's why sentences are. That's why you can get life, and these people that are like that idiot that killed the girl. I mean, they're horrible stories, and that's why you should have the death penalty, and that's why I'm pro death penalty. But the same token, if you are in the custody of the state, then the state has a duty to take care of you.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Doug wrote in.
I mean, let's take the pedophilia out of it. If you're in for DUI and you get beaten to death in jail, I think there's a problem.
Yeah.
In the jail should be safer.
Doug wrote in and said. Doug wrote in and said, "Pimping ain't easy for Reverend Al, even when he's pimping race."
I know.
We got to get Doug on the show with us one night.
He don't look too good. He looks like he's still on the cocaine train.
Okay, so the job market came out today. I'll close out with this one. 164,000 new jobs last month alone added to the economy. And unemployment rate is now sitting at 3.7. I don't think I've ever seen it at that. Not my lifetime, 58 years.
It's just going to get better once China gets real. China's going to get hurt a lot worse than we are in any trade war. I like Trump's attitude. Frankly, if China doesn't want to come to the table, leave the tariffs in place. To hell with them. We'll just keep the tariffs in place and do our own thing.
Well,
and then guess what? Then you'll see Nike moving to Vietnam. They don't have to make everything in China with Chinese slave labor.
Well, Trump's slapping a $300 billion tariff on them right now. And even the guy that's running for office, the Democrat out of Montana, said that's the best thing that can happen. I mean, his farmers were hurting, but the $19 billion that was given to the farmers to help them out during the tariff, that's the best thing you could do. If we start making stuff made in America, we have every mineral just about in the United States that every country has in their countries. There's no reason why the American people, we might have to pay a little more off the bat to get things up and running.
You still want to have trade. We still want to trade. We
need it.
Trade, but we trade. I mean, that's the bottom line. We want fair trade. And he's got good points. Why should China be on some undeveloped country list? China's got some of the best skyscrapers in the world. China's no longer a back-asswards nation. China's a modern industrial behemoth. It's the second or third economy in the world. So
not anymore. Their economy is going into tanks right now.
Yeah, that's because of we have free market here, baby. Trump's He knows the economy.
He say,
He knows the economy a hell of a lot better than some of these talking heads on MSNBC. And Bloomberg always wants to talk down the economy too. Bloomberg Network has a big anti-Trump agenda, as does the BBC. I get disappointed watching the BBC because they'll put out a bunch of falsehoods. But nobody does it like CNN and MSNBC. Those guys are so over the top. They've lost all credibility. And our media has just failed this country tremendously. I mean, to lie to everybody for years and then be made a fool of in the Mueller hearings. I mean, Mueller came off worse than Joe Biden when he can't say a sentence. That's how bad Mueller was. I don't know who's more incompetent, Joe Biden or Mueller.
Yeah, Doug wrote in and said our society has become tolerant of deviant behavior. That's why there are so many sexual offenders amongst us. We have when you have 13 different sexual identities recognized by the liberals, eventually child molesters and rapers will be accepted. And he's
they want to make them a special interest group.
He's got a point on that. Now, I interviewed a guy.
It's terrible.
I interviewed a guy years ago, and it made me sick to my stomach to have to interview this asshole. But he had been in jail for child molestation. He was getting ready to go back. Had it not been for the glass wall between us, I'd have kicked his ass. But I said, well, you're going to get what's coming to you when you get in jail because they don't like child molesters. And he started laughing in my face, and he goes, you know what? It's not like that anymore. The jail is full of child molesters. Back in the old days, oh, yeah, we would have been punked. He said, but now it's commonplace because the jails are so full of child molesters.
Well, let me just say this, too. Part of this is our Hollywood
bullshit.
Culture. These left-wing lunatics, they put so much violence, so much sick sex, hedonism, I mean, so much Sodom and Gomorrah on television and in the movie theaters. And they wonder where it's coming from. I mean, there's a lot of terrible violence in the movies, desensitizing our country to violence. There's a lot of terrible movies in general with really negative connotations. Again, subtly influencing our country. And it's wrong. I mean, back in the day, we used to make some of the greatest movies in the world. There were great movies. Some movies, they still make a few of them. You can catch a good movie once in a while, and there won't be a dirty word in it. But there's not that many of them. But they have debased our culture. Hollywood has debased our culture. And they wonder why we have all these shootings. Well, every Hollywood movie. I mean, Phone Book, perfect example. Guy had a phone. Some sniper shooting him. I mean, there's a culture. Next thing you know, there's a copycat. So it is ridiculous. Hollywood's got to bear some responsibility.
The dirtiest thing in Fistful of Dollars is when Clint Eastwood kept spitting tobacco on that damn dog.
Those great spaghetti westerns were fantastic.
I blame it on. I blame it on June. I blame it on the Cleavers, because when the husband come in and she said, "Ward, you were a little hard on the beaver last night, weren't you?" It went to hell from there on. So, I'm gonna give you the last word out here, Greg.
I like that. Well, you know me. I'm no fan of Channel 4 here in Jacksonville. They're on a CNN feed. So when some gay blade on CNN says, that's racist, that's homophobic, even if it's not, and chances are it's not, it's just that they took it that way. I think the people that claim racism are the real racists because they want to see racism everywhere. So Channel 4 spews the same propaganda that CNN spews, but they're trying to get over on the local public. It's sad. They did great little news stories on, just the local stuff, but they start getting into politics. It's all CNN, it's all MSNBC, and it's all fake. And it's terrible. They don't have any credibility. I'm really disappointed in them, and I'm disappointed in CNN, and I'm disappointed in the Democratic Party. So all I can say is, Trump, keep America great. We need you. We need another Trump. Trump is taking care of business. You got to like that guy.
Yep. I got to agree with you on that. Anyways, I'm going to let you get out of here, Greg. I got to do my closing thing, and then we'll...
All right. We'll see you next week sometime.
Yeah, right. All right, I'll probably catch you for lunch.
Peace
I think
out.
It's my time to pick up the tab this time.
Peace out.
Peace out, my brother.
Peace out. All right.
All right, Greg, have a good weekend. That was Greg Williams, attorney at law out of Jacksonville, Florida. If you guys and gals need a good attorney, Greg's a little nuts, but that's what you want representing you. I mean, he's up in Jacksonville. His number is 904 358 8180. Greg will work with you. Greg is a kick butt attorney. He does not handle murder charges, though. So if you got busted for weed or you feel your constitutional rights have been violated, he's the guy to call. He's up in Jacksonville. He will come down to Putnam County if you ask him real nice. I want to say a goodbye to one of my friends up he's a reporter and a cameraman. He was working up at First Coast News. He has quit there. He left for a better paying job, more money, more advancement. Matt Head, one of my good friends. And Matt, I'm sure First Coast News is going to miss you, buddy. I'm going to miss reporting with you and stuff. But I'm glad you moved on, and congratulations on that little girl. He had a brand new baby daughter born about a couple months ago. Cute as a button. So I got to give my shout outs tonight. Hello, Glennis. To everybody listening, thank you very much. Doug and Todd and Jolie and Janet, and there's a bunch of you. If I didn't get your name tonight, I probably will next time on Monday night. We got another show coming up. You know, the thing is you're going to hear us talk about Democrats, but you'll hear me talk about Republicans. You know, Paul Ryan, he had a chance to do something with health care from the Republican side of things. Didn't do it, so it's not just the Democrats. Make sure you learn your candidates and know what they're about. You know, there's some old school Democrats that are good, but no matter what it is, get educated or edumacated. Know your candidates, know what their policies are, and then think, do I want higher taxes? Do I want open borders? You know, what kind of health care do I want? How much is this going to cost me? Follow the money, and you'll find out what is true and what is false. I give my shout outs to, even though I didn't see her on here tonight, Mama B. Who else didn't I see? Miss Debbie. Give a shout out to Annette up in Louisiana. And you guys up there are getting flooded. And Audrey, you guys have got a lot of rain up there. I hope your house doesn't flood again this year. Let's see, to Matt Head, to Justin and his dad and his mom, Kelly. Who else I got? Mr. Steve. Did I forget anybody? Oh, Tammy, my right-hand woman who takes care of the Putman Way. Now, you guys and gals, I got to thank you. We went over 14 million this week, which is phenomenal on the Putman Way. If you want a great news source, it doesn't cost you anything. You can keep up to date. We can't get everything covered on there, but Tammy does such a great job of keeping you informed on what's happening in Putnam County, as well as the rest of the nation, on weather, news, you name it, they got it. You can check that out on Facebook on the Putman Way. If you want to check out some of our artists, we have some 6,000 artists now that play through IITW radio. That's Indigo Tango Whiskey, are the call letters for that. And we do everything through the internet anymore. I don't run anything through local airways. It's too expensive. And you want to hear what's going on now, not, next week. You don't want to read about whose funeral you missed next week, and you don't want to hear about it. So, anyways, I want to thank you guys and gals for listening tonight. Now, remember, if you see if you see a soldier, a young man or young woman who is in uniform, go up and thank them for their service. If you see a veteran with a hat on that says American Vet, go up and thank him for his service. Thank your first responders when you see them, especially our volunteer firefighters. When you see a shirt on that says, East Palaca volunteer firefighter, go up and thank them. I'm sure Casey would appreciate it. He's one of the volunteer firefighters up there. Or James Holt up in Interlochen area. He also works for the Department of Forestry. But go up and thank these guys and gals because they put their life on the line every day, 24 hours a day. His volunteers are what have kept our country from burning down. And unlike California, our state hasn't caught on fire and burned to the ground. So make sure you go up and thank them for everything they do. I want to thank Calvin O for letting us use his music tonight, One Nation Under God, for Austin Neal, Brothers in Arms. Now, this is a great song, and I've said it a couple of times. These two artists are just a couple out of the thousands that we have playing on IITW radio. Now, if you want to get the what do you call that, Chris? Moji or whatever that sticker stamp is. What's that called? Show your hand up there. Chris is running. He always is our IT guy. Chris does a great job. But you can go on and go to Google Play Store, and you're going to see, what do they call that thing? Emoji or app. That's it. You click on, there's an app, and it looks like a globe, which is up on our screen. You'll see it. Click on the app, and you can download a thing. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. You can click that on. It doesn't cost you anything. We have some great music on there, some 6,000 artists that are up-and-coming artists. If you like them, go on the bottom of the page and vote for them. There's a little place where you can vote. Check out the advertisers that keep this program possible. Well, I think that's it, guys and gals. We will hope you guys and gals have a great weekend. We have a tropical depression coming through. Make sure you put your trash cans up. Anything that's going to blow away or hit your neighbor. Make sure you don't leave your dogs and pets out in this stuff, man. That's horrible. Don't leave your dogs chained up. Don't make them a part of your landscape. Make them a part of your family. Those pets are there. They'll love you, but as much love as you give them, they're going to give you 10 times more back. All right, well, thank you for listening tonight, and we will see you guys and gals back here Monday night. Be safe. I'm out.
See the guitar in the corner. It's the one I learned to play on. Believe me or not, it's been all around the world. It's been back and forth to Georgia, Carolina a couple times. But there's that one trip that takes me back in time. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. To a different time with my old man, watching the old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. Well, they're always among us, brothers in arms. Back to those nights of sitting there, writing letters home, to picking that old 6-string just to keep from feeling alone. Seen some tough times, some crying eyes, but never quit on me. Been through hell and back, even brought us back to where our hearts need to be. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. A different time with my old man, watching them old dogs run, telling stories and comparing battle scars. And they're always among us, brothers in arms. On a plane ride to a foreign land, a journey had begun. To a different time